We now have with us Mr. B.S. Ajaikumar. He is the Executive Chairman of the company. Mr. Ajaikumar, good afternoon, and thanks for joining in.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
No, it's so. While the quarter has seen well, plenty of ups and downs, I just want to ask you about what sort of a margins profile do you expect in the existing business for the entire year, if of course excluding the acquisition that you made, and do you think that we can still get to a 20% EBITDA mark going into the full year?
As you have seen, YOY, our margin has improved from 17.3 to 18.5 or so. So it has been a definite improvement in the margin. And we think with the acquisition what we have had and with the robust way the existing centers are growing, and some of the emerging centers are also showing improvement. In the last quarter, we will, I think, reach 20% EBITDA margin. And as you can see, we have reached a historic EBITDA, which is over 100 crores for the first time in HCG, all-time high, and we are growing significantly well with about 14% growth. And this will sustain us to reach the 20% margin.
All right. Hi, Mr. Ajay. This is Varsha here. Good to have you. So, if you see overall, your RPOP, that is average revenue per occupied bed, has been increased. There's been growth of almost 7.4% year on year. Now, what is the sustainable growth when it comes to RPOP?
I think definitely, as you can see, our main centers in Bangalore, Ahmedabad, metropolitan centers in big cities have done extremely well with RPOP in the region of over 75,000. What is happening is the catch-up happening in our tier 2, tier 3 cities, which is really going extremely well. From 35,000, we have reached 40,000 in the emerging centers and the tier 2 cities. So this will sustain and this will provide the momentum for future growth in the RPOP overall for HCG. And we expect a similar growth to happen in coming months, coming quarters.
All right. Also, there's been increase in competitive intensity when it comes to oncology hospital in general, like multi-specialty hospital seems to be very good upcycle. Now, what is your view in this? What kind of competition? Yeah, please go ahead.
Historically, we are a focused factory. We know how to treat cancer patients. And that is why, we are a destination. Unlike multi-speciality hospitals, when the patient goes with pain, abdominal pain, diagnosed, they make a treatment there. Ours is more of a destination. People not only come from all over India, but across the globe, from Africa, Middle East and all. Primarily because, as you know, cancer care is a very personalized care. When the cancer recurs is when patients get really worried. Significant number of patients recurrence happens, unfortunately, because first time right treatment is important. When that doesn't happen, they do recur. When they recur, they end up coming to HCG centers, particularly our centers of excellence, or to other spoke centers through our hub. We take care of them. That is what has been the growth of HCG, being a focused factory approach. And this growth is growing very well and sustaining. As you can see, our growth in HCG centers, oncology centers, has been 19%. What has pulled down a little bit is our multi-speciality. So we believe as we move more and more towards oncology.
Okay, I think we have had a patchy line on that one. We'll try to get the management back. Okay, I believe we do have him back. Yes, sir, please go on.
No, I was just saying that as you've seen in the reports, that our HCG oncology centers have grown 19%. What has pulled it down is the multi-speciality and fertility. But as we move more and more towards oncology, that is our mandate and goal, you will see further growth happening in the HCG oncology, which will be significant, more than even 19%. That is what you are expecting as we move forward. Being a dedicated oncology center, in answer to your question, that is where the future growth will be, in our opinion.
That was my very next question, but you have preempted it. So I'm going to ask you about your expectations with respect to your top line and margins, at least for FY25. I'm not looking for a specific number, but if you could give me something around the ballpark.
No, I think normally we don't discuss numbers, but I think this similar growth will happen. You can calculate, we are looking at a growth about 15% overall. And it can even accelerate more, particularly with our acquisition, what we have done. And also the new emerging centers coming into the play now. And margin, EBITDA margin will sustain over 20%.
Mr. Ajaikumar, there is a lot of competition in terms of oncology specifically, but also want to understand. You did briefly allude to multi-specialty hospitals. How do these two play out in equations for Healthcare Global specifically, and how do these complement each other?
See, in my view, cancer cases are increasing, definitely. And initially, the cancer diagnosis is normally made in a multi-specialty hospital, but not all multi-specialties have oncology. So when they don't have oncology, where do they refer? They will not refer to another multi-specialty with an oncology because they will lose the patient completely. So they end up referring to a dedicated oncology center. This is one way where we are going to grow as time goes on. Second aspect is, as cancer care being in the highest form with the specialized care what we provide, we are a destination. Like when cancer recurs, that is when the patient, majority of the patients end up in HCG, come to places like HCG because they want a focused approach, a dedicated group of oncologists. We have 400 oncologists looking at it. So that is where they end up coming. And that is where our outcome has been good. Even in recurrent cases, advanced cases, our outcome has been extraordinary, which we have published. So that is the big differential, and that is where also it complements each other. Early cases may end up going to multi-speciality, but when they recur or advanced cases, they end up coming to a destination hospital like ours.
Got it. Mr. Ajay, any outlook on further inorganic opportunities in medium term that you're eyeing?
Yeah, we are always looking for oncology centers, dedicated oncology centers where we can acquire 100-bed hospital, 80 to 100-bed hospitals, which have good growth, which have a good promoter base. We look at like what we did in Vizag is really Dr. Mulli being a great promoter. Acquisition is mutually beneficial. Similar models we are looking across India where we have already a presence. And we are also looking at some infusion centers, how we can even acquire them, like possibly in Mumbai and other areas, where it can add to our main center of excellence. So this is where we are looking at to build our center of excellence further in dedicated cities, as well as look at some areas like Vizag and others. We already have a center. Can we acquire more centers to build that dominance in that area?
How much capex have you earmarked for this entire financial year?
We have marked about between 250 and 300 crores capex. That includes the maintenance capex.
And towards what areas does this capital expenditure go to?
As I said, maintenance capex will take significant amount, and other areas will be for possible, new capex as well as acquisition. New technology is coming, as we know. Recently, we replaced our cyberknife with a very advanced technology. So this is where the capex will go, and also we will keep our powders dry for possible acquisition.
Considering all the plans that you have on the anvil, do you think that we could potentially see any changes in increase in your near-term debt? If you could give us a picture of your overall debt and whether or not you are comfortable with these levels.
Right now, our debt after the acquisition of Vizag is around 400 plus crores. And we think we are going to increase it slightly, but there won't be any significant increase for the next 18 to 20 months. At that point, we are also thinking, if need be, we can always raise a primary in various means. So that has been in the discussion phase at our board level.
Mr. Ajay, last question from my side. So you're coming to your emerging centers. Your Kolkata center grew almost 32%, which was a major growth driver for you, and it did turn profitable in current year. So what are the other centers that you're expecting to turn profitable maybe in FY25?
Yeah. See, one of the other centers is our Borivali center in Mumbai is already profitable, but we expect it to grow significantly. But one center where we had some difficulties is our South Mumbai. But we are putting in a lot of effort now in various ways, including the talent acquisition, better digital marketing, better marketing in that area to see, and also using our technology there to the saturation point, including the cyberknife. With all this we are planning on, we are looking at a turnaround in South Mumbai. That is the only area of concern at this point for us.
Okay, we leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us.